The Western media, especially whose base are in the United States and the UK, are very reluctant to cover news that emanates from Ethiopia's Amhara and other regions. Washington Post, CNN, BBC, The Independent, Reuters, etc. simply ignore news outlets coming from different parts of Ethiopia except Tigray. Even if the news is based on facts and justification, they are lethargic and take a very long time and due process to be covered. I have followed the story developments and news framing since the advent of the Tigray conflict, beginning of November 2020. Let's see BBC as an example. BBC covers using words like Ethiopian aggression of Tigray as if Tigray is a separate state. It purposely ignores the attack of the federal troops who were stationed in Tigray for over 20 years due to the border conflict with Eritrea. It mentions repeatedly the thousands of Tigray girls being raped without giving any actual evidence. Hundreds of civilians are massacred in Tigray, it further mentions, without giving ample evidence. The St. Mary Church of Zion destruction and the massacre of 700 people in Aksum. This is totally fabrication, and now anyone will not believe it because it is found to be completely false. Words like Abiy Ahmed, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, became dictator. He hates Tigrayans, and Tigrayans are sidelined after he became prime minister. These are some of the sentences that are filled related to Tigray and Ethiopian conflict. The Tigrayans fear they will lose their autonomy if the reform continues as it planned. Most of the mentioned accusations of TPLF and megaphoned by BBC are an outrageous accusations, or rather propaganda warfare against Ethiopia as a state. Remember, the Ethiopian government still maintains the Ethiopian constitution, which was promulgated and ratified mainly by TPLF. The regional and federal states are intact. They are not touched so far, and the Prime Minister and his party promised to keep this document, and there is no way to change it. The federal system is not supposed to be for bargain, as the Prime Minister and his party members have said repeatedly in the media. However, Maikadra massacre of Amharas is not well covered, which is termed as one of the worst genocides to happen in the 21st century, in which over 1,600 Amharas are brutally murdered by TPLF youths who escaped to Sudan. Now they are stationed in Sudan. The daily massacre of Amharas in Oromo region and Metakel of Benishangul Gumuz regions get a rare mention in these news outlets. However, the alliance of TPLF and Oromo Liberation Army got a huge noise to try to weaken the country. The Galikoma massacre of over 250 Afar displaced children and moms get few mentions across the media, in which TPLF use heavy artillery to terrorize innocent civilians. The Chena massacre of well over 200 Gondar Amharas get a paragraph or so after a repeated tweets of Ethiopians in the social media. These all show that any news without any further analysis is posted that weakens Ethiopian government as well. But the rebel groups' terrorist activities are overlooked and they rarely get a mention. The story development, news framing are hugely biased and one-sided. Thank you.